Hello everyone, this is Michael from Disney Dialogue, and today we are here to discuss about these two Funko Pop vinyl figures from Star Wars. The one on the left is the Han Solo and the Millenium Falcon, that is Amazon exclusive. The figure number is 321, and on the right is the Star Wars The Mandalorian with the child, who is now known as Grogu. And the figure number for these guys is 380. Now, I had set a water bottle in the middle just to give us an idea or a sense of how big these figures are in real life. Now, are these two worth adding them to your collection? Well, that's what we're here to discuss, so let's begin. Okay, so now that we have Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon out of the box, let's go ahead and take a closer look. And the first thing that I noticed right away and appreciated was the fact that Funko decided to add this base to the Millennium Falcon. And there's that Star Wars logo. And then I really appreciate the fact that they decided to have it sit on these 5 clear plastic columns to make it look like that it's floating or levitating or that it's getting ready to take off. And even a base, they could have just gotten away with making it plain, but instead they decided to add a texture to make it more fitting with the ship itself. So as we go around the ship, you can just I think through the video it shows the level of detail that it went into in designing this, and I think they pretty much stuck close to the original design that George Lucas had created a while back when the Millennium Falcon was first introduced. Here we can see that there's that blue engine that lights up when it takes off, and then on top here are the exhaust vents. And when we take a closer look, they actually added that burnt looks like they painted that black burnt effect to each of these exhaust vents, and I think that's a really nice added touch just to make it more realistic. And the fact that this is not a shiny brand new Millennium Falcon, but Han Solo's been actually traveling around space with the ship. And also here you have that same burnt painting here, which it's a subtle added touch that just really makes it really look effective. And of course there's that censorship, and just every angle and every space around the ship, there's a really refined detail. And of course as we come around, there's that cockpit, and of course we have our hero here, Han Solo, and obviously it's not true to scale in size with the ship. But it's a little cartoony, but still I think it works. I think the eyes definitely goes to Han Solo first, because the Millennium Falcon is very muted. It's just like just grayish silver color, but then you have Han Solo here with the full color. So I definitely think your eyes just go to him first, and then start to appreciate the rest of the design and the detail that they put into this. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is definitely a figure that's worth adding to the collection. And let's go ahead and talk about the size here. And as I mentioned earlier, this is not the traditional standard Funko. So from the bottom of the base to the top of the head, it is about 5.5 inches. And from the left to the right side of the Millennium Falcon, it is about 10.5. And then from left to the right, it is about 13.25 inches. So it is definitely not small. Okay, so overall, I highly recommend adding this figure to the set for those of us who are huge Star Wars fans. I think even though the retail price for this was $50.99, I believe it's worth the value for the things that I mentioned earlier. But unfortunately right now, Amazon says it's currently unavailable, and we don't know when it will be back in stock. It may never will. And the only place that I can think of right now where we can get this is on eBay, but you know, the only setback is that most likely the price will be a lot higher, since this cannot be found anywhere else except for Amazon. So, and unfortunately they're out of it. So I'll leave that up to you guys whether it's worth spending that extra cash. So there you have it. This is the Han Solo and the Millenium Falcon figure number 321. Now we have the Mandalorian with the child out of the box. This thing is really quite impressive, especially with the chrome finish to the helmet and to his armors. And he stands from the base to the top of his head about 10 inches tall. A quite large piece, but again, the scale is really appreciated, especially because of the detail that went into the figure itself. So as we take a closer look to the detail of this figure, what's striking right away is the fact that he has this chrome finished helmet, and then the armor on his arms and legs, and the breastplate. And for those of us that watched the show, we all know that this type of metal is called the scar metal that he's earned throughout the battle. And it's known that this type of metal can withhold and has a tolerance to extreme forms of damage. The character definitely has earned his way receiving this type of metal as a reward for all the battles that he's gone through. So the fact that Funko has decided to add add this chrome finish to his armor is highly appreciated by the fans. I think it just goes without saying that this is definitely another piece that's worth adding to the collection here. And again, going back to the detail of this figure here, he comes mounted on this base with the Star Wars logo, and just look at the feet, his shoes and everything. Again, there's no like plain pieces or parts. Instead, down to every detail all around 360 degrees. And here you can see the leather leg strap holding the bullets for his side piece here, the pistol that's tucked underneath here. And then you have this Ambin phase pulse blaster that's on the back of that's on his back, that's tucked underneath his cloak, his cape. And then the child, we cannot forget about the child, who's now known as the Grogu. Again, just the detail on his feet and his hands. I mean, they even added his toenails and fingernails to it, and the texture of his clothes and everything is just top notch. And the painting of his face and his ears, it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty evident that they didn't, take any shortcuts when it comes to paying close attention to the detail. And the good news about this particular piece is that it is still available, and the only place that sells this right now is at Walmart website. It currently retails for $29.99. So I would highly recommend picking one up before they're gone, or before it ends up on eBay at a much higher price. Hopefully my video has provided some useful information in making that decision for you guys. And as always, if we feel that I have earned that like button, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel so we can stay up to date with all the Disney related shows, attractions, and product reviews. So until next time, please stay safe and God bless.